My name is Chelsea Norton and I'm 39 years old. 22 years ago, my parents kicked me out in 11th grade for being pregnant, calling me a failure and slamming the door on my face. Today, they showed up at my doorstep in Austin, pounding like they owned the place, demanding, "Let us see the child, our grandchild." I opened the door, my hands steady despite the rage boiling inside, and hit them with the truth they'd never see coming. "What child? Who are you?" Their faces drained of color, eyes wide in shock as the words hung in the air like a slap they deserved. But this was just the spark. I'd spent those 22 years building something they could never touch, waiting for this moment to ignite the plan that would dismantle everything they held dear. They thought suing me would force my hand, claiming it was for a legacy they had abandoned. Wrong. What unfolded next exposed their greed, turned their allies against them, and left them begging for mercy they wouldn't get. If you've ever dreamed of perfect payback against those who betrayed you, stick around. You won't believe how this ends. That doorstep moment ripped open wounds I'd sealed long ago. The deepest cut came from my parents' betrayal. Patrick Norton and Andrea Norton, their faces twisting in disgust when I showed them the pregnancy test in our Austin living room. The air was thick with their judgment. "You're no daughter of ours anymore," Dad said, his voice cold. Mom didn't yell but examined her nails while adding, "We expected better from you. Not this mess that ruins our name." Her words sliced deeper than any shout could. They gave me 10 minutes to pack, turning our family photo face down as if erasing me from existence. The click of the frame against the mantel echoed like a final verdict. I grabbed clothes, a few dollars from my savings, and the necklace I'd hidden. The door locked behind me with finality, leaving me in the Texas night, alone. Derek Sloan's abandonment hit next. The boy who'd whispered promises under the stars at our high school prom. His hand on my waist felt like forever. "We'll figure it out together," he said when I first called him, his voice steady at first. But days later, his number was blocked. His parents' lawyers sent a letter denying everything and threatening legal action if I contacted him again. His future at college mattered more than ours, leaving me alone with the fear growing inside. His silence was a betrayal that burned because he had been my escape from home. The streets of Austin became my nightmare. Sleeping on benches in Zilker Park, rationing tears to save strength. The humid air stuck to my skin as I dodged stares from passers-by. Each rejection built the fire. From my parents' dismissal that stripped my identity to Derek's cowardice that left me vulnerable, teaching me trust was fragile and people could discard you like trash. Right there on that cold bench as dawn broke over the park, I swore I'd make them pay. Not with anger that consumes, but with something smarter. Turning their greed against them, one calculated step at a time. Kayla Rhodes appeared then, a widow in her 70s walking her old dog at dawn. Her cashmere coat contrasted with my ragged jacket. Her eyes were sharp yet kind as she spotted me curled up. "You're freezing out here, child," she said, her Texas accent warm. Seeing through my lies of being fine, she sat with me as I broke down, holding me like I mattered. Her hand on my back was steady when everything else shook. Then she offered, "Come have breakfast with me and Max." No questions asked. Her car smelled of lavender. The drive to her spacious home felt like an escape. Kayla didn't just give shelter, she became my mentor, teaching survival and smart revenge over morning coffee. "Build yourself so strong they regret ever letting you go. Use their weaknesses like tools," she said. From hostess at her hotel chain to learning inventory and profit margins in her office, she showed me how to turn pain into power. Her lessons in business masked deeper teachings in patience and payback, preparing for the day they'd crawl back. Her investigators were already digging into their lives without my knowing. Kayla's lessons became my foundation. She started me as a hostess, showing how to read guests' faces for weakness and turn complaints into loyalty that I absorbed every detail, from managing shifts to spotting profit leaks, not just to survive but to create an unbreakable shield. Her office sessions went beyond business, drilling patience as the key to outlasting enemies. One evening, while updating her will, she introduced Sean Barrett, her lawyer, with steady eyes and a knack for loopholes. "He's not just for papers," Kayla said over coffee that turned into strategy talks. "He's for protection against the unexpected." Sean became part of my circle, his advice sharpening my strategies. From trust setups that locked assets tight to evidence trails that trapped the unwary in their own words. Then Shannon Lyle joined from the hotel's IT desk. Her skills in tracking digital footprints turned casual chats into surveillance lessons. We bonded over late-night fixes of system glitches, her teaching me how to monitor without leaving traces. We were assembling a team that felt like armor against the ghosts of the past. After the miscarriage hit hard, leaving me hollow for 4 weeks, Kayla guided me through the adoption process at a Texas shelter. Her contact sped up the paperwork. As we visited, I found Austin Norton, a baby with curious eyes that mirrored my resolve. His tiny hands grasped mine as if knowing our bond. I named him after the city that broke and rebuilt me, raising him not only with love but as a strategic piece, enrolling him in coding camps early to hone his mind into something undeniable. His first program at 8 was a sign of the potential I'd cultivate. His quick grasp of tech, building apps by 10 that solved real problems, wasn't an accident but by design. Knowing one day his success would draw them out like moths to a flame, their envy making them vulnerable. Kayla wove everything into preparation. Her Chuck. A fortress with clauses barring abandoned blood from claims. The savings account code tied to Austin's adoption date for symbolism that reminded me daily. Video recordings she made in her study captured her warnings about greed's blind spots. Her face was serious as she spoke directly to the camera about cowards who discard family. We practiced scenarios over dinner, her role-playing their excuses with uncanny accuracy to teach countermoves. She was building my empire brick by brick. From expanding hotel operations to investing in Austin's growing tech scene, it stood tall enough to cast shadows over their lives. Each success was a step in the plan she'd helped craft. The trap was set, and they took the bait right on cue. I started by feeding stories to local Austin tech sites about Austin's breakthrough software, crafting anonymous tips with details of his algorithms to ensure the coverage went viral in business networks where executives like my parents lurked. The pieces exploded online within hours, with headlines touting, "Local was kid transforms industry overnight," drawing thousands of shares. I tracked the comments, knowing the echo would reach their ears. Days later, a high-end tablet showed up at my desk, wrapped with a card from my parents saying, "For our talented grandson. Time to reconnect." Their words were a thin veil over the real motive, to probe my defenses. I shipped it back with a note feigning emotional turmoil. "This brings back too many painful memories." My handwriting was shaky on purpose. On their follow-up call, my voice wavered just enough. "Why now? After all these years of nothing?" To make them think I was fragile and ripe for pushing further. Shannon dove into their online patterns immediately, her tools pinging every query on Austin's name from their IP addresses. We cataloged it meticulously, from encrypted chats with Derek outlining ways to leverage the kid's fame for a share, to browser tabs on inheritance claims. Each "I can't do this right now" message I sent made them press harder, escalating to voicemails promising reunion funds if you'll just talk, and more packages like custom tech gadgets. When Derek ramped up his role in their plot, Shannon snagged his communications proposing to play on her guilt from the past for a cut of the inheritance. His desperation was clear after his startup flop left him scrambling. The messages showed his eagerness to manipulate for quick cash. I dangled hints and traced calls that Shannon secured, casually dropping that Austin's project could be worth millions if it scales, watching their responses spike with eagerness through increased surveillance hits. Their oversteps mounted quickly. My parents cornering Austin at a coffee shop near his office with forced smiles, their demands for family time to make up for last year's, met with his polite brush-off. Andrea's social media posts lamented estranged kin seeking closure, but Shannon linked them to hired influencers amplifying the narrative for sympathy, exposing their manufactured pity play through bot traffic analysis. Every step lured them into overreaching. Their mounting aggression was the signal they were primed for the fall. Their sloppy emails and calls provided the ammunition I'd use to seal their fate. Their desperation was my leverage. I started sowing distrust by planting anonymous emails through Shannon's untraceable accounts. One to my parents hinting Derek was skimming their reunion funds for his own debts, another to Derek suggesting my parents planned to cut him out once they secured Austin's wealth. Their replies grew erratic. Patrick's messages to Derek demanding clarity, accusing him of betrayal, while Derek fired back, "You're the one stringing me along." I fed the chaos with fake intel. slipping into a call with Andrea that Austin's software patent was valued at $10 million, watching her voice sharpen with greed as she whispered to Patrick about our stake. Shannon rigged call recorders to capture every word. Their threats escalated from, "You owe us family access," to, "We'll sue for what's ours if you keep dodging." Derek's voicemails grew bolder, his tone slimy as he pushed, "Think of Austin's future, Chelsea. I'm his father after all." Oblivious to the trap snapping shut. I leaked a mock document to their lawyer, a trust fund clause implying Austin's wealth was tied to my approval alone, sparking their frantic emails about forcing a settlement. Shannon's tools snagged every piece, from late-night searches for Grandparent Rights Texas, to Derek's encrypted chats with a shady consultant about pressuring emotional weak spots. I kept my responses curt, "I'm not ready to talk." Each refusal stoked their impatience, pushing them to overplay their hand. Their mistrust peaked when Patrick confronted Derek in a recorded call, "You're playing us for fools," while Derek snapped, "You never trusted me from the start." The breaking point came fast. Their lawyer filed a lawsuit for grandparent visitation and inheritance claims, citing familial bonds that never existed. Shannon intercepted the court filing, her analysis revealing sloppy errors that Sean pounced on, crafting counter-documents to expose their lies. My parents' final move was a public post on an Austin business forum pleading for sympathy with, "We just want our grandson back." But Shannon traced it to a hired PR firm. The evidence stacked higher, their reckless demands were crumbling, their own words the noose tightening around their plan. The stage was lit, and their downfall began. Austin's keynote at the Austin Tech Summit, packed with industry leaders and cameras, opened with a nod to chosen family. His voice was steady as he stood in a sharp blazer, not a suit, signaling his own path. I'd coached him to start broad, speaking of loyalty over blood, setting the tone as eyes locked on the front row table where my parents and Derek sat, their polished appearances masking the greed I baited. The screen behind Austin flared to life with Kayla's video, her face commanding silence as she declared, "Family is who stands by you, not who claims you when you shine." The crowd leaned in. My parents' smiles tightened as she called out, "Cowards who discard their own," her words aimed directly at them. Next came the legal blow. Sean stepped to the podium with a folder, his tone clinical as he displayed the document they'd signed 22 years ago, projected in bold text. "We, Patrick Norton and Andrea Norton, relinquish all rights to Chelsea Norton and any offspring, born or unborn." Gasps rippled through the room, phones raised to capture their signatures, undeniable and damning. Then, the emails. Shannon's intercepts flashed across the screen, showing their plot to leverage Austin's fame and Derek's push to play on her guilt for millions. Their own words exposing their conspiracy for all to see. The final strike was my voice, calm but cutting, as I stood. "I lost that pregnancy with your cruelty. And Austin is my adopted son, not your blood." The room erupted in murmurs. Their faces collapsed under the weight of the truth. No grandchild to claim. No wealth to seize. Security moved in as Sean announced emergency restraining orders served on the spot, barring Patrick, Andrea, and Derek from contact. Their humiliation was broadcast live on Austin's tech feeds. I watched them escorted out, their heads bowed under the crowd's judgment. My satisfaction was cold and absolute. Their collapse was only the beginning. The fallout from the summit spread like wildfire. Clips of their exit racked up millions of views. Their small real estate firm lost 3 major contracts overnight, clients citing reputational risk. Within a week, their company's board ousted Patrick as chairman. They sold their Austin home at a loss and relocated to a cramped condo in Scottsdale. Their social circle shrank as neighbors whispered about their disgrace. Derek's fate was bleaker. His emails flagged by Shannon's contacts tipped off the IRS, leading to a federal audit uncovering $500,000 in unpaid taxes and charges promising prison time. I offered no leniency, my silence a deliberate choice. Their pleas for mediation were ignored. Sean ensured their legal challenges collapsed. The key? I launched the Kayla Rhodes Foundation for Young Women, funded with $1 million from her estate, to support single mothers in Texas with housing and job training. At the opening event, surrounded by grateful faces, I turned to Sean, pulling a ring from my pocket. "Will you make this family official?" I asked, my voice steady. His grin was wide as he accepted, Austin cheering beside us. The foundation's first grant went to a 19-year-old coder, her toddler in tow, her eyes bright with hope I'd once lost. Revenge, served cold, is the sweetest. A lesson carved into my core: you protect yourself by building a life they can never touch.